The Vice President, Mr. Kwesi Amissah-Arthur, says access to financial services should be one of fundamental human rights. He has therefore called for closer collaboration between governments and the financial institutions to allow people to be part of the financial process, which will in turn encourage growth in the economy.
Mr. Amissah-Arthur made this observation during an interactive session at the just-ended India Economic Forum in New Delhi. A report by Theodora Amedeto.
In most developing economies, the adult population lacks access to formal financial services. Around 65% of the adult population in India are found in this situation. As a result, most of them are forced to rely heavily on the informal sector for their financial needs, leaving them vulnerable to higher costs and risks. Policymakers and private sector leaders have identified the adoption of electronic payment systems as critical to unlocking access to formal financial services such as credit, savings and insurance. During an interactive session at the just-ended Indian Economic Forum, panelists from diverse financial backgrounds discussed promoting financial inclusion in India through public-private collaboration.
Banks actually are there to lend money, and they would love to have people who are lendable to be their clients. So once we molded the main population to be also recipients of loans, then the process became much greater.
Why don't we design a product which matches their cash flow? So Mandeshi was the first bank to design a credit product for women which will have a daily repayment system. If women cannot come to the bank goes to them. And that's how we started a doorstep banking.
The Vice President, Mr. Kwesi Amissah-Arthur, noted that the financial system is a process that starts from the cradle to the grave and must be a democratic right of the people.
We are seeing financial inclusion really as a democratic right of people and not something that should be a voluntary, something that's voluntary. So governments must compel people to have bank accounts, because with an account that allows you to participate in the financial system, you're going to be able to improve your welfare, better savings and access to credit and maybe pensions and insurance and so on. So without that initial step of a bank account, it is impossible to do the other things that help to improve economic performance, economic growth in the country, and also to improve the welfare of people.
Mr. Amissah-Arthur spoke about the eSwitch technology initiated by the Central Bank of Ghana to encourage electronic payment in the country. The panelists agreed that if universal financial inclusion should be attained, then the banks should keep proceedings simple and the financial system seen beyond the banks. Theodora Amedeto, GBC 24, New Delhi, India.